Supplements, supplements, supplements. It seems that everywhere we turn, on social media, in our email inbox, radio ads, on TV, and in stores, we're coming across ads trying to persuade us to buy this or that new dietary supplement as a nutrition boost. But which ones are really necessary for our health and which ones are just hype? Let's look at one of these nutrients today, vitamin D. In this episode, we'll explore some of the key roles that vitamin D plays in our body and what current research and findings are showing for this nutrient. Curious? Let's dive into this together. Meet me on the inside.
Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi, friend. Do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this.
Sometimes we can look at the health problems we have and feel defeated. Defeated and hopeless that things will ever get better, that our blood test numbers will ever improve. You may have been battling the same high cholesterol or hemoglobin A1C numbers for a while now, while making some changes to diet and lifestyle, but there doesn't seem to be much change. The blood pressure readings seem to be constantly creeping up, along with your stress about your health, work, and home. And now, you've begun to dread that upcoming doctor visit because of what the doctor might tell you. I've spoken before about a long-standing skin issue I had some time ago and how I was on treatment for it for a few years. At the time, it did feel hopeless, that I would never be able to get off dependence on the medications to maintain my health in this area. But I eventually did, and you can too. Your health can get better, and I want to come alongside you to help you get there. Reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com or see the contact options in the show notes, and let's see how we can work together to make this happen. There are so many different vitamin, mineral, and other nutritional supplements being marketed nowadays at us, especially if you're over 65 years of age, that it can all be overwhelming and confusing. They can't all be necessary and critical to good health. You gotta love those advertising segments that pop up when you're trying to watch a YouTube clip. You know, the ones that try to sell you the latest cognitive brain health breakthrough, fat-burning secret, Alzheimer's reversal supplement, or an unbelievably simple diabetes cure. The other day, I was trying to play a kid's piano music pitch learning video clip for my children on YouTube, and within the 20-minute clip, we had to skip past at least 2 such ads. It can all be so annoying when you're just trying to finish a program. Don't you agree? So what's the deal with vitamin D? And is it really a key nutrient worth supplementing? Well, let's first look at what vitamin D actually is and its key functions in the body. Did you know? Vitamin D is actually a hormone, and it acts within the body not just to help us with calcium absorption so we can build strong bones, but also helps to boost our immunity. Vitamin D also helps us in the area of cell growth and neuromuscular function and helps to reduce inflammation. And vitamin D may be important when it comes to reducing the rate of cellular aging too. This summer in 2025, some research results from the VITAL study, VITAL, was published. This is a large double-blinded randomized controlled study involving vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acid supplementation. During a 4-year period of supplementation of participants with vitamin D at a dosage of 2,000 international units a day, researchers analyzed samples from over 1,000 participants at 3 specific time intervals. And what they found was that in those who had this supplementation, there seemed to be less telomere attrition or wearing down of the protective caps of repetitive DNA at the ends of chromosomes. This observation was made after analyzing leukocyte telomere length, LTL, in the samples, with leukocytes referring to white blood cells in the blood that are vital to immune function. This could all mean better health, immunity, and slower aging on a cellular level with adequate vitamin D levels in the body. You may have also heard of vitamin D as the sunshine vitamin, and that's true. Vitamin D is one of the rare nutrients that can be made through a cascade process when ultraviolet or UV rays hit our skin. So our body can manufacture vitamin D endogenously. But, as I have mentioned before, there are many factors inhibiting the amount of vitamin D we can make, leading to vitamin D inadequacies. These include our modern way of living with mostly indoor lifestyles, having darker skin, living in higher latitudes, being covered with sunscreens and clothing to avoid skin cancer, seasonal changes, and the extent of air pollution in the environment we live in. This all limits the amount of sun exposure we get and the amount of vitamin D synthesis resulting from that. So let's look into what's the latest in the world of vitamin D. In 2024, a consensus statement on vitamin D assessment and supplementation was published, summarizing key results from the 6th International Conference held in fall 2022 to discuss vitamin D metabolism, assessment, actions, and supplementation. This consensus statement was made by 27 vitamin D researchers. In it, the authors acknowledged that while some debate still exists over what would be an optimal level of 25-hydroxyvitamin D in the blood, what is clear is the importance of preventing vitamin D deficiency. This is especially so for older individuals because vitamin D deficiency can reduce intestinal calcium absorption, leading to consequences such as secondary hyperparathyroidism, bone loss, and an increased risk of fractures. Overall, the general consensus seems to be that we all need to ensure vitamin D adequacy, and vitamin D supplementation is one very effective and reliable way to achieve this. In this paper, there was acknowledgement that the optimal dose of vitamin D supplementation may vary by the desired outcome. But vitamin D supplementation is generally a safe treatment with minimal adverse reactions. So what is the recommended vitamin D supplementation level? In the past 2 decades, quite a number of different recommendations have come forth from different expert groups and government agencies. There is a key paper published in January 2025, however, that I would like to highlight in this episode. This was a review paper published in the journal Nutrients, titled Vitamin D, Evidence-Based Health Benefits and Recommendations for Population Guidelines. The authors gave a comprehensive review of a wide variety of research with different study designs and reached a conclusion that vitamin D is a critical component of the human body, essential for the entire lifespan and with far-reaching effects on health. This review paper supports a level of vitamin D supplementation up to 2,000 international units a day, or 50 micrograms, to achieve more normalized 25-hydroxyvitamin D concentration levels to prevent diseases and deaths. It should be noted here that the current Institute of Medicine's recommended dietary allowance of vitamin D, or RDA, is 600 international units daily for adults up to age 70 and 800 international units daily for those over 70 years of age. These recommendations were set about 15 years ago, however, and were made on the basis for bone health primarily. But since then, a lot more research studies have been done. You've just heard about the VITAL study results with less telomere attrition in those participants with vitamin D supplementation of 2,000 international units or 50 micrograms daily earlier in this episode. Personally, I take a dosage of 2,000 international units of vitamin D3 daily. So today we looked at what vitamin D is, its main functions in the body, and what some of the latest research and current recommendations may be related to vitamin D supplementation. We saw that it is an important nutrient we need to be concerned with, and that preventing vitamin D deficiency is a serious and important matter. It's definitely not just hype. Not if you really want to build optimal health and nutrition. Some of the latest recommendations from vitamin D researchers is that a daily dosage of 2,000 international units or 50 micrograms of vitamin D3 can be taken to maintain adequate vitamin D levels in the blood. Friend, I hope you found this episode helpful and one that brings more clarity to you in the world of supplements and nutrition. Remember, I'm here to help you live the best quality life with good nutrition and a lower risk of chronic disease. Let me support you more in your personal plant-based diet journey and transformation to the best health and quality of life. Let's use the power of natural whole plant-based foods to reset your health and heal your body in the best and most natural way, without more surgery or prescription meds. Reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com or see the contact options in the show notes, and let's connect.
Thank you so much for listening. If this podcast has inspired, encouraged, or helped you in some way to transform your health, I would love to hear about it. Please take 30 seconds to rate and leave a written review on Apple Podcasts to let me know. It will encourage me so much to hear how this podcast has positively impacted and made a difference in your journey towards wellness. And share about this podcast with a friend or loved one so we can all thrive in the best health. Remember, plant-based eating can be easy and doable. See you in the next episode, my friend.